Hi, I'm Brent Simmons. I'm an independent iOS and Mac developer. I own a company called Ranchero Software, and I live in Seattle. You may have used some apps that I've created in the past. One was NetNewsWire, which was a popular RSS reader for many years. MarsEdit, I created, is a weblog editor. And most recently, Glassboard, which is a social networking, private social networking for small teams of people. Kind of like enterprise software in disguise. Anyway, I live in Seattle, and when I say I live in Seattle, I actually mean that I live in Seattle, not like folks out here in Redmond who will sometimes say that they're from Seattle, but they're really not, right? Because Redmond is someplace else. And to a Seattleite, crossing the floating bridge, crossing Lake Washington feels like crossing this great big cultural divide. You know, I come from a beautiful, wonderful neighborhood and visit the land of frozen yogurt and food courts and big lawns and I don't know, it's hard to describe because I don't even understand everything I'm seeing. It's definitely a different place. But an even bigger cultural divide is for me, a longtime Mac and iOS developer, to come out and visit Microsoft. And you might wonder, why would a guy like me even think about doing that? Well, the reason is, in my last app, Glassboard, we used Azure as our backend, and it was fantastic. It worked very, very well, continues to work very well. We were super pleased with it. And so the Azure folks, they wanted to show me this new thing called mobile services, which is a new component of Azure and kind of a higher level, even easier to use and create component. So in my last app, I had dedicated server guys who knew all that stuff. But for stuff I'm working on in the future, there's a good chance it just might be me, right? So I need something easy enough for an iOS client developer to put together and easy enough for someone like me to administer and keep running and so on. So, as a Cocoa guy, I always like to leverage use the highest level tools I possibly can. And that's what mobile services looks like to me. And so today I'm going to do a series of 3 videos and show you what I've learned and show you how easy it is to put some of this stuff together. And we start at the Dev Center. So mobile services is just one component. And it's not the entire thing. It's the kind of the easier level. But to get started, you have to go to the Windows Azure Mobile Dev Center and sign up. When you sign up, you're signing up for all of Azure, and that's fine. You only want to use the components that you're going to use. So you go to the Dev Center and do the sign up. You have a free trial. You get 90 days and 10 mobile services for free. Now the sign up process does require a credit card, and that's for identity purposes only. It's you won't get charged for anything unless you explicitly enable subscription billing. So don't worry about that step, though it is part of it, so be warned. Now I've already done that sign up. I won't walk through it now. Instead I'll go straight to the portal, which is at windows.azure.com. So here's the Windows Azure portal. It's loading up right now. You can see on the left the various different components, but the one we're interested in is mobile services. Now I've created a few here already. These are just demo things. What I'll do is step through and create a new one and show you how that's done. We click the New button at the bottom left of the screen, and we click Create to create a new mobile services. We would start by giving it the URL, or actually the first part of the URL. That URL is not something your customers or your users are ever going to see, so it could be anything you want. In this case, I'll call it Brent Demo C. Why not? And we'll create a new SQL database, and we'll place it in the West, because we are in the West, and we love the West. And click Next. Database, we'll call it Brent Demo C _DB. That's the default thing. That's fine. We'll create a new database server with I'll just use a simple login name and password. Obviously, in production, you'd use something more secure. And you've got to type it and confirm it. Now, you want to make sure that your database is in the same region as the mobile service you created. And it probably does that for you automatically, but it's worth checking. So we chose West for the mobile services. We'll choose West US for the database as well. Click the check mark. And you'll note that it has a little nice green check mark, and it says ready, and you have a URL for your service now, and it's all good. So we click on the name and make sure that iOS is selected. And what we'll do is check out the Quick Start demo that shows you the easy and quick way to get started with mobile services. So we'll click Create a new iOS app. Now, since you're a developer, I expect you can skip step 1. You already have Xcode. I would assume you've already been writing apps, right? So we'll go straight to step 2. We'll create the table. Click the friendly green button that says Create a Table. And it spins for just a few seconds, and they've created the table. Great. Then what we'll do is we'll download the sample app, and I'll open it in Xcode, and we'll run it. So click Download. There's the cool animation. We know we can go to our Downloads folder. Where's Brent Demo C? There it is. We'll open that. OK. So this is the downloaded demo app, the Quick Start app. You can see that there's a Xcode project. It also includes Windows Azure Mobile Services.framework, which is a framework that makes it really easy to connect your app to your mobile services. Now, the framework that comes with the Quick Start download doesn't include any source, though it does include headers. However, that source is all hosted on GitHub, so you can go there, check out the source, even make changes and contribute, which would be great. And I will show you that URL. All right, here it is on GitHub, Windows Azure, Azure Mobile Services. And you can click on SDK, and you see that we have iOS, Windows Phone. And the iOS source is, it's all here. So you can take a look at all of this. Anyway, back to Xcode. Double-click on Quick Start, and it opens the project. And the first thing you'll notice is that in todoservice.m, your application URL and key are already filled in for you. So that's taken care of even before you download it. And so this app is actually all ready to go. I could run it, and it will. OK, this app is all ready to run. I'm going to run it in the simulator, and it will display our to-do list item app that connects to a mobile service. And here's the app. So first thing you need to do as a geek is always remember to buy flowers, because your significant other is probably long suffering with you alone in the office working on code all the time. So, all right, so I typed that in, and I hit the plus button. And what happened is that item was sent all the way up to the mobile service, and then the app read it back, and now it appears in that table. And we can prove that that is so. Back in the portal, we can go back to the Brent Demo C service and then click on the Data tab. And you find there the to-do item table has one index and one record. If we click on it, we'll see the actual data. And the text is buy flowers, which is what I just typed. And also you'll note that in the complete column, it is false, because that item hasn't been completed yet. So just for fun, I will complete that item. And the way you do that in this demo app is to swipe and then tap complete, and the item disappears. You might be wondering why the app only shows non-completed items. I'll show you. In Xcode, in the refresh data on success method in this sample app, you'll see a line where we're setting up a predicate using NSPredicate with format. And it says complete equals no. It's easy enough to change that to complete equals yes. So now when it's fetching data, it will use that predicate, and it will show you items that have been completed. So this time when I run it, the table should say buy flowers, because I've marked that as completed, and our predicate wants to see completed items. So build it and run it, and there we go. It shows buy flowers. That's right there. So one of the cool things about this is that Even though you're connecting to a back end whose deep inner workings you don't necessarily know about, you are working in Xcode, and you're working using the same exact APIs that you're used to using. You're used to using things like NSPredicate. And if you look through the headers of the Windows Azure Mobile Services Framework, you'll notice that it uses all the modern stuff like properties. It uses blocks. Here's the MS item block, MS delete block. It uses all the modern stuff that you'd expect. This is not some old framework that is just being foisted on you. This is brand new, cool, completely modern stuff that you get to work with. And that's that. That's your basic quick start demo. That's how you get started, and that's how easy it is.